Hello! Presenting Revised Bloom's Taxonomy to you today is Ariyah and Hollie. Ariyah is the Picasso of the whiteboard and Hollie is the voice in your ear for the next 5 minutes. We are going to discuss the cognitive component of the Revised Bloom's Taxonomy. Bloom's Taxonomy is a learning hierarchy which focuses on the 5 main levels of learning and the process in mastering a new piece of information. Initially, Bloom's taxonomy was used as a pyramid, ranking from the highest order of thinking, which is evaluation, down to the lowest order of thinking, which was knowledge. Using Bloom's taxonomy is a process similar to climbing a ladder. You must start from the bottom and conquer each step in order to get to the next step. When Bloom's taxonomy was revised, slight changes were made. Most noticeably, the nouns from the original version have been replaced with verbs in the revised version. This is because learning and thinking is an active process, so we should be using an active vocabulary to encourage that. Revised Bloom's taxonomy is a form of thinking about thinking, which is otherwise known as metacognition. Metacognition is where you actually begin to think about how you are thinking and learning, and then through this you become aware of the way you best learn. Then you can evaluate how to apply your most effective learning style to the task at hand. Revised Bloom's taxonomy is most often used by teachers as a method to understand the level of thinking their students are at. They can then help develop their students' level of thinking by delivering information in a way that their students understand. To do this, teachers will ask questions or give an activity that is relative to the level of thinking that their students are at. Consequently, the student will eventually grow to the next level of thinking in the Revised Bloom's taxonomy model. So now we'll explain how the Revised Bloom's taxonomy model works. At the bottom of the pyramid, we are remembering. At this level of thinking, we are simply asked to retain and memorize information well enough that we can repeat it when we are required to. Define, recite, list, describe, label or recognize are all verbs that are relative to this level of thinking. After remembering information, the next level of thinking is understanding it. At this level of thinking, we begin the process of truly understanding the information. To assist the process of understanding something, we may be asked to explain the information in our own words, to demonstrate the process of something, or to show how a method works. The next level of thinking is applying. This is the act of applying your knowledge and understanding of the said information to perhaps solve a problem, make a decision, or further develop something. Verbs that may be used to assist this level of thinking would be apply, solve, use, produce, or prepare. The fourth tier is analysing. At this level, you'll be asked to break the information down to pieces or components of a whole. By doing this, you'll then be able to consider each element of information that makes up the whole piece you're learning, and you can then comprehend how one element is relative to the other and how they all combine to make a whole. This will help you understand how all components of the material works and what roles they play in the overall piece of information. At this level, verbs such as compare, infer, identify, analyse or differentiate may be used to promote analysis. The next tier is evaluating. This is a level of thinking where your knowledge is extensive and thorough enough that you can begin to evaluate or test the information. Through all the prior levels of thinking, you should have enough experience with the information that you can evaluate the strength or truth of it, or perhaps even test the information by bringing in new variables. To promote evaluation, you may be asked to test, justify, criticise, defend, judge, or determine something. The final tier and the highest order of thinking is creating. This is a level of learning where you are able to organise, reapply, or combine everything you've learned or encountered in your previous levels of thinking to create a unique new piece of information or point of view with it. You may be asked to design, develop, invent, make, produce, create, or compose something at this level of thinking. So that's the Revised Bloom's taxonomy, somewhat of a thinking ladder that you need to climb in order to truly conquer what it is that you're learning. As the wise Bev Thiel says, we need to become master thinkers. As an example, approaching this presentation we had no prior knowledge of Bloom's taxonomy, so we needed to start at the lowest order of thinking, which was remembering. We researched the Revised Bloom's taxonomy to the point where we could remember or recite it. Then we began learning how it works to develop our understanding. We then applied the Revised Bloom's taxonomy while we were planning this presentation. We've analysed and evaluated the steps with you, and we created a presentation on it. To assist you in the thinking about thinking process, perhaps apply the Revised Bloom's taxonomy method to the next new piece of information you have to learn. Something we've grasped from this is you won't be more successful in an area of knowledge because of how quickly you may have learned it. You'll be more successful by how thoroughly you understand it. Thanks for watching and listening.